Hey, I'm Ted Vieira. And yeah, last week I got a chance to get out and shoot with the Leica 90mm f2.8 Tele-Elmarit lens. Cool experience, right? Different kind of experience shooting with a longer lens on a rangefinder camera. Because if you're shooting with a DSLR or a mirrorless system and you put a 90mm lens like on your new Fuji X-T2, right? And you look through the viewfinder, bam, you're right up in there, right? I mean, everything you were looking at is much closer now. The view of the viewfinder is that close-up view that longer length is giving you for your photo. If you put a 90mm lens on your rangefinder camera, it doesn't matter if it's 90mm, 50mm, 35mm, 28. You look through the viewfinder, it always looks the same, right? Because you're not looking through the lens. You're looking through the little window on the camera, and the window on the camera never changes, right? So, but what does change is the size of the frame lines that you see overlaid on the viewfinder. For the 90mm, you're just going to get a much smaller area. The frame lines are going to be much smaller. You're going to have much smaller area of that viewfinder that you can use to compose your shot. I'll kind of show you what that looks like. So here we are looking through the viewfinder on the Leica M6, and I've got my Summicron 50mm on there, and I pointed out the 50mm frame lines, and obviously that's what you'd use to compose your shot, right? Now here's with the 90mm lens, a much smaller area to work with, right? So obviously, of all the things you're seeing through your viewfinder right now, most of it's not even going to be in your shot. Anyway, kind of cool, right? Um, Now I've heard some people kind of complain, or say it's not so great using a longer focal length on a rangefinder camera, because yeah, you can end up working with a pretty small area within your viewfinder to compose your shot, but it's not so bad. You get used to it. It's not so bad. Um, Anyway, what I did is I went back down to the strip, played tourist again, got my touristy shots. So I'll share some of those photos with you here. So for these images, I'm using Fujifilm Acros 35mm film, and I did shoot it at box speed at ISO 100. But I did want to let you know that I did bump up the contrast a little bit in post because I kind of got used to that bump in contrast that I got when I would shoot this film at ISO 400. Um, but yeah, as far as the lens, really enjoyed shooting with it. I was pretty happy with the image quality I was getting from it. And at 90mm, f2.8 can give you some pretty beautiful shallow depth of field. So yeah, overall pretty happy. Yeah, pretty happy. Am I really happy? Am I really excited? I don't know yet. I'm gonna have to do some photo shoots. That's what I got this lens for. With my Fuji system, I've got the 56. That gives me an 85-ish millimeter focal length, right? On 35mm film, 90mm lens kind of puts me in that ballpark. So I'll do some photo shoots, look at those images, and I'll know more on how much I love this lens. What do I love about the lens? Man, that's a 90mm lens. It's not much bigger than my Summicron 50mm. Wow, I love that. I guess they consider this to be Leica's purest 90mm because it does conform to that small form factor that Leica is really known for. Very small, very compact system. The other 90mm lenses are all much bigger. So very cool. I do love that. And I do like the image quality. It's just that I'm a little more wowed from the images I'm getting with the Summicron 50. That's not really fair because Summicron, right? You're getting into a different class of lenses, and you're gonna pay more, a lot more money. And but yeah, and it's like I haven't done any side by side, and it's not really a fair comparison. They're two very different lenses. But I'm just the wow factor is a little higher from the Summicron. I think it's got a little bit better micro contrast. Like I said, I haven't done anything scientific looking through a microscope side by side, but I find the images from the 50 a little more punchy. Just yeah, they have more impact to me visually. So I went out this week and shot a few shots with the Summicron 50 using acros, and I pushed it to 400 this time. And so I'll show you some of those shots and kind of let you guys let me know what you think. I think it's a little punchier look. It's not a very fair comparison because again, I'm not shooting the same images side by side, same conditions and things like that. Very different kinds of content and things like that. But anyway, just wanted to show you some of these images with the Summicron 50mm and acros pushed to 400. So yeah, obviously not a side by side comparison to these two lenses. There's no point in doing that. They're two very different lenses. But yeah, I am getting a little bit more visual impact from the Summicron 50, right? A little more exciting image quality. Again, it's not really fair. It is a Summicron, so again, different class of lens, a lot more money. But because I am getting that kind of image quality from that lens, it just kind of makes me wonder, should I go ahead and get the Summicron 90mm f2, right? But I want to do some photo shoots with this first and see how I like it, because if I get some shots and I love them, then I'm done. This is a very cool, I love how compact it is. And if you're looking to get into some Leica glass, a 90mm f2.8 lens, they don't make this lens anymore. It was in the 70s and in the 80s that they made this. But, you look around online, you can find this lens for anywhere between, I was seeing them like between 400 and 700 bucks US, $700 US. For excellent condition lens, right? For Leica glass, right? Anyway, I'll do some photo shoots, let you know how I like the images, share those with you guys. And Ted Vieira, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll answer anything I can, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.